Hey YouTubers, I wanted to do a quick update on my Blazer 4.8 project. The project is going to include fully porting these 862 cylinder heads that came off of a 2002 4.8 engine I purchased a few years ago. So I'm going to go ahead and do a full port job on those. Probably mill them. I'm probably going to mill them at least 10 thousandths, maybe a bit more. I'm still undecided on that. Believe it or not, one of the biggest concerns I had with milling the cylinder heads is having to buy another set of brand new push rods. So, you know, my cheapness is kind of hindering my ability to make a good decision, apparently. So the goal at this point is to do the cylinder heads, including port work, new springs, seals, machined locks, you know, all of the tricks that I like to do when I build an engine. I want to port one of the Dorman 3-piece, what I call long runner truck intakes to put on there. So basically you're going to do a cylinder head, cam, an intake upgrade to this 4.8. Also, of course, you guys know, doing the LS2 timing chain upgrade. Going to swap out and put that ported Mellings 295 oil pump with the shim to get a little bit more oil pressure. As best as I can determine, with the ported heads and the cam upgrade, I'm going to peak horsepower somewhere between 6,500 and 7,000, probably in the 6,800 range. The factory pump bypass will start bypassing oil at around 53 to 55 pounds of pressure. So when you higher RPM range, let's just say, for example, you're going to raise your shift point from 52 or 5,300 up to 6,500 RPM. At that higher RPM range, the oil pump is bypassing some of the volume. That is the reason why I'm shimming it a little bit, to just kind of maintain the pressure and the volume in that new RPM range that the engine originally wasn't really meant to be used. Trying a different machine shop that I don't usually use to do a basic valve job. Now keep in mind, I'm not trying to do anything super NASCAR specific. I just wanted to increase the valve sizes from the 189, 150 factory 862 valves up to an LS1 2-inch intake valve and a 1.57 exhaust valve. Star Performance only stocked the 1.57 exhaust valves in the 8mm stem for the LS engines. So I was like, okay, it's a little bit bigger than what I wanted. It's going to require some unshrouding in the chamber, which adds a little bit of volume, which I didn't want. Yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of crap that goes on in that decision making. But they were readily available, 157, one-piece stainless steel valves at a reasonable cost. That's where I came up with the final decision on my valve sizes. I already had the 2-inch LS1 takeouts, got the 157 stainless, which, you know, once you go turbo, having a good quality stainless steel exhaust valve is not a bad idea. So I took the heads in. All I'm doing is doing a simple valve job. Open the seats up to accept the 2-inch 157. Should have been fine, no problems. I'm not going to blast them. I'm not going to even mention the name of the shop. I started doing some measuring on my bowls, trying to get my math set up on what I wanted to do to best work with this 4.8 engine. Was going to CC one of the chambers to kind of see how much I may or may not mill off the deck surface to kind of boost my compression a little bit. Immediately found out that the valves aren't seating on the seat. Boy, okay. A little bit frustrating. I'm going to go ahead and admit, I'm going to throw that out there. Let me just go ahead and take these heads back in on Monday morning, show them what's going on, show them, you know, what I need fixed, and to have them verify that these valves are seating in these heads. I'm going to move the camera over and get something set up so that I can show you Hey guys, here's my thing. I don't want to just jump out and just blast the machine shop that I took my cylinder heads to and give them an opportunity to fix this. All I was asking them to do was do a valve job, clean the seats and open them up to the new larger size. If you look at this, see that? It looks like a little, I don't want to say divots, but you can tell that this surface around this part of the seat is flat. You can see it, it's bumpy. It's like, boop, 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 boop. You can see where the cutter was not cutting true and was not creating a nice smooth texture around this seat. Most people, when they do valve jobs, test their work either by doing what they call a suck test or a vacuum test or whatever to make sure there is a good quality seal. I'm going to try to show you guys what's going on with this. This is a 1.57 one-piece stainless steel valve, brand new, never been run in an engine. Okay, we've inserted the 1.57 valve into the seat. Let's check this valve seal. Let's see if we're getting at least get a valve seal. Okay, here's the scenario. We've set up the exhaust port with a small fat flashlight coming in through the exhaust opening, and we have our valves just sitting, no spring, in the valve guide, and we're just going to see what happens. If you look closely, when I start to close this, you'll see the highs and the lows associated with that poorly cut exhaust seat. Look right around this edge. If you look real close, you'll see bright, dark, bright, dark, bright, dark. You'll see that inconsistent surface of that valve seat as it was, worked thus far, but you'll see that reflection, dark, light, dark, light. That's a representation of how unsmooth and how irregular that surface is. Now watch this. I'm going to take and pull that valve in on the seat. Can you guys still see the light? Now let me open it real slow. See that light? Like, focus specifically in this area right here on the top left, 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock on the clock face. I want you to watch this. It never goes away, guys. That valve is nowhere near sealing on that seat. This area here and this area here, that's light. That is absolutely light from the flashlight coming out around that valve. In this head, they're all like this. So let me open that up. See that light? See how it starts to go away, boom. You can still see light coming out, and it's that way all the way around the valve. Now watch this. This is a way better angle. See the light from the flashlight? Watch this. You're not even going to believe it. Do you see that light? See that light? Watch it. That's as hard, right there. I am pulling as hard as I can on the stem of this valve, and that light never goes away, guys. See that crack of light? No matter how hard I pull on that valve, I can turn it. Yeah, that light never goes away, and that gap is all the way around the valve. You can clearly see the highs and the lows in the seat, representation of the light that's escaping around the valve. You can see where two small points are touching the valve, huge areas are not. You can see the difference, the inconsistencies in the valve seat, because this is a brand new valve, perfect sealing surface, boom. That has to be fixed. What's really concerning is that is like that on every exhaust seat. So they're all going to have to be recut, smoothed out. Also, the intake valves are not sealing. So, you know, it's just really frustrating, because you would think that it would be a simple procedure, you know, when you have the right machining equipment to do a valve job. And I don't know, I've never run into this problem before. Now, granted, this is the first time I've used this particular machine shop. That's why I'm not going to jump down their throat. I'm not going to jump to conclusions. I don't want to throw their name in the mud or none of that junk. I just want to take them back over there, show them what's wrong, and give them a chance to fix them. So, you know, the whole goal is to just please let me get these heads finished so that I can put them on my Blazer and get this thing running before springtime. So I'm just really frustrated right now, guys, and had to take a little bit of a moment to kind of regroup. Just goes to show, you need to check everything. Don't take it for granted just because you took it somewhere and paid them money to perform a service. You got to check everything. Something as basic as that. A person could have assembled this cylinder head, threw it onto their engine, and all the valves would have been leaking. I wanted to CC the chambers because I can tell you my goal is to get my static compression of this 4.8 right around 10 to 1. I'd like to go a little higher than 10 to 1, but I would have to mill the head more than I'm comfortable milling it. That's a different story. But I went to set up my cylinder head so I could CC the chambers to see if a 10 thousandths cut would actually get me closer to a 59 cc chamber, which would get me the 10 to 1 compression that I wanted, and found out the valves aren't sealing good enough to even hold fluid. So that's where I'm at on this project. Tomorrow morning, first thing, I'm going to drive myself over to Lee Summit, show them with my flashlight and my valves that I don't have a good seal, and hopefully they won't have the heads another 2 weeks to fix this problem, because I'd really like to get these heads ported and get all that junk done so I can start the process of putting them on the Blazer. You know, as is hot rodding, I guess. Things can go wrong, and generally do. So please check the work. You know, when you have anything done, if you have any ability whatsoever to check the quality and the end product, always check the work that you pay for. Check everything, guys. It's absolutely not worth it to go through the frustration and the work and put out the money and the time to, you know, do these upgrades to your cars, or maybe you're just doing a factory head replacement. Check everything, guys, because you never know what kind of a deal you can fall into when you don't. So that's my update. I apologize it's not as good of an update as I really wanted, but I had to take a couple of days this weekend to kind of, you know, step back, take a deep breath, try to move forward, give them a chance to fix their mistake, and you know, it is what it is. Appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys are interested in this kind of information, because I'm fixing to do some videos about porting these cylinder heads and porting an intake, and I wanted you guys to have something to see. As always, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell, thumbs up, all that good stuff. YouTube loves it. Thanks, man.